What's up, everybody? I was gonna do it like live on Twitch, but I'm having a little bit problems. It's like it's not even like loading up. So yeah, they talking about the Kansas City Chiefs who just won Super Bowl. So congratulations to them, and I don't have to hear no 49ers be like rubbing it in my face for the next 8 months. So good. They wasn't supposed to make it, but they did anyway. So they overachieved, which ain't nothing wrong with that. Apologize for the people that be watching on yeah, I probably will just turn it off. So let me just stop it there. So what's up everybody? This is WFSO Aftermath. Sorry I'm a little bit late, but I was waiting on my on this on tablet to load up so I can do it like exclusively on on Twitch too. So for people that was watching on Twitch, I apologize because normally it'll be live on there, and now here it's just pre-recorded. And yeah, it was one thing I forgot to do too. So let me do that right away. So it's just gonna take a moment. Yeah, look, me not thinking about it. So y'all just give me a moment. It's gonna take a bit. But some of the commercials that they had was interesting and was very funny. But I didn't know they was gonna kick it off for showing like Deadpool and Wolverine movie, like the preview that they only showed like was about like 20 or 30 seconds of it. Then they told you like you can find the trailer, online. So hey, I'm about to say like at first like he actually have hair or something, but yeah, the man had a wig. It was so funny. So I'm sorry for the awkward silence for a moment, but I'm trying to do this. Oops. They put the date. Can't believe it. We're almost halfway through February and things is going pretty fast. So just talk about wrestling news and talk about a little bit of the Bucks today. So what we're gonna do today, just look at some wrestling news, and I guess I can talk about a little bit of the press conference. Although I didn't see it, I just saw like clips of it. It was that because it was a Bucks game going on, so couldn't do that. So let's see, wrestling news. Bucks and more. Because like it wasn't that like it wasn't really anything big like going on in wrestling besides that big announcement that Tony Khan had made. I did watch some of Dynamite because normally I'm like at times like something else on. I watch that. If something's not on, I'll watch AEW. Didn't watch Collision, or I did not watch. Yeah, I did watch a little bit of Dynamite this past Friday. I did watch that. So, oh, select audience. Oops, sorry. So y'all getting a little bit of longer extension of the pre-recorded, and also getting a little bit of extension on the podcast as well. So let's say just give me a moment. Oops. Oh, oh, I didn't try to invite. Yes. Yeah. Apparently, I ain't got no choice. So don't care about the link. I'm sorry, guys. Nah, I didn't think it was gonna take this long. And somehow they said I end up doing so I gotta redo it again. And I will be right back, and y'all probably get to see me walk. So give me a minute, and we'll talk about if there's some good wrestling news going on. So I'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm back. So sorry for that little like pause at the moment. So once again, I apologize. So let's see. Oops. 24. Add prescription, description. Okay. Wrestling news. I get that little bit of space. Let's, huh, there may be more, but let's see. So like audience, no. So let's go live and there we go. What's up, everybody? I forgot to put this on live on YouTube as I'm pre-recording on YouTube. So yeah, kind of strange. So this time I got it on the side of me. So all things worked out. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of wrestling. We're just gonna look and see if there's some wrestling news that's going on, and talk about a little bit of the Bucks and as they prepare for these next two games before they go on the road for one game. Before the All Star break. So because the All Star break is next weekend. Yeah, and let's see. I know we got Damian Lillard and Malik Beasley in the 3-point contest. I don't know anything about the skills challenge yet because they didn't mention anybody. But maybe Giannis would be on that again. Who knows? Well, at least we got two All Stars that's in the All Star game, and two of them are starting, and that's Dame and Giannis. And yeah, the strange thing was like when we was watching, the Super Bowl, they had a commercial for the Bucks game because they're gonna show like 10 of the Bucks games televised on TV. So we finally back on TV. Well, the Bucks is finally back on TV, I should say. Yeah, it's been a while because I remember watching it on like local TV, like in the '90s and stuff like that. Oh, come on, can't be warmer than that. Maybe next week it'll be a little bit more warmer, but we can only hope. 44, 40, 44, 39, 33, 32, 35. So after that Saturday, when we get 32, it'll be saying that it's starting to go up and warm. So they say it'll be somewhat warm tomorrow, so we'll see. Um, but yeah, I was talking about the Bucks. So they showing 10 games, and I know the final home game of the season would be the that 10th and final game that they show. Otherwise, most of the games will be like mostly on March, and I think you got like two or three of them on April. So yeah, so I guess they decided to do this. I guess just to test the watches and see like how big showing it on a broadcast it would be than it was in years past. But then again, we had like in the oh yeah, '80s we were good, and the '90s like in the after I said that was after the 91-92 season, they were just not that good until till they had that lockout season from '97 to '98. Well, you might as well say mostly '98 because there's a season started in February after the normally All Star game all the way up to April. Then the playoffs and whatever. Yeah, and the Bucks did finally, after all that, they made it to the playoffs, and they got knocked out a couple of years in like the first round from let's see, '98 and '99, 2000 and 2001. That's where they made it all the way up to the Eastern Conference Finals. And yeah, and still that game with the Bucks and 76ers in 2001 is still going to be controversial in that because there's a lot of, scenarios and what if, and there are some proofs on some of the things that been like going home of the, refs, and after all that, it was like years later, they caught refs like betting on teams and stuff and probably cost some teams some games. So that happened around that time, and yeah, and I don't know if you can ever trust refs again. And the refs this year, the calls and stuff is just horrible. It's just really bad. So I wouldn't even know what to say about that. It's just ridiculous. But I hope they off season, regardless of the Bucks made it all the way or not. But I know they're gonna be in the playoffs. But if they make it all the way, I would not be surprised. But if they do, that's good. But I think they'll be more ready this coming off season because I know they still got a move left to do because they still got that roster spot. So what I said was they can get a backup center. I thought they would get like someone like Bismack Biombo, but he's already taken. He's going to the Thunder. Um, see, Kyle Lowry is back in Philadelphia, so he's going to be with the Sixers for the remainder of the season. Um, the rest of it has been like big moves and stuff, but they're still nervous. Noel Nerlis, sorry if I said his name wrong. He's available and a good defensive big. Probably not like young, but he's like young enough that he can run up and down the court with Giannis and help defensively too. So regardless of anything, they're gonna need a backup big. So that's no question about it. They're gonna need a backup big. I know it's been okay, has at times a Giannis at the center and sometimes Bobby Porter at the center, but It's not enough because they're not. Oh, I don't even know what to cheer or that. Boston beat Miami, so I don't even know what to cheer or boo either. But who knows? But yeah, they got Denver tomorrow, and they got Miami on Tuesday. So yeah, Miami, they just play Boston, so they probably going to 110 to 106. So the Heat gonna have a day resting. They're probably gonna come in town tomorrow. Um, so yeah, we did beat Miami once before. I think we beat them twice already. Oh God, let me see that schedule. Hold on, because I think we beat them twice. I think it was when they had that play-in part that they played. Let me see. Yeah, we did. We did beat them because we beat them in October. Um, yeah, they beat them on October 30th, and they beat them once again in November 28th. So I don't know if this. Let me look at this. While I'm looking at it right here, I might as well just see. 'Cause I know the next time after this one, they probably might face them. Oh, okay. They done with Miami after Tuesday. It's only a 3-game series. So yeah. Um, and I'm looking at March. Well, besides the couple of games we got here, back practicing after the road trip back to back. So yeah, showing the Bucks like practice today. So that's some good news. Get some of their strides. Let's see. After All Star break, so it would be like next Friday. Of course, they got Minnesota, which they're gonna show that game on. Wait, I wonder why they got 7 o'clock and they now got it on the channel. It's going to show it at 9. So I'm thinking they might have changed the time for Minnesota just to show it on that later game, but they'll mention it eventually. Um, they got Philly that final Sunday of the month on at noon. That will be on ABC, and that will not be shown on Bally's or anything like that. Then you got Charlotte twice, so got Charlotte at home and got Charlotte on the road. Yeah, so right now they're 2-0 against Charlotte and face them 2 more times and they'll be done with them. But yeah. So yeah, March would be a big month for NBA teams. So because some of them, they finally click together and all that stuff and start hitting these like winning streaks and stuff like that, and they probably will carry it all the way through April. But with the Bucks, now they're saying it's the fourth toughest schedule they got from this point on, and I'll tell you, it's gonna be tough for Philly for having Joe and B out for a while. Then let's see. Oh yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie. He was another. He signed. He got released by Toronto after he got traded from Brooklyn, which was a very big surprise that they would trade him. I guess do anything just to avoid that bonus. So that's the only thing I can say. What else? But yeah, he got let go, and they ball him out in Toronto and decide to. The Lakers decide to sign him for the rest of the season. Um, there was something else I was going to mention about like the NBA, but What was it? What was it? But anyways, we'll come back to that if I remember. But oh yeah, I was saying that like some teams will hit their like winning streak and stuff, and will gel together finally. And I think for teams, it'll be like after the All Star break that more teams will gel better and stuff. And some teams may surprise you end up with a winning streak. And it's just a lot of possibilities that can happen between after next Sunday, then all the way through. Oh, excuse me, all the way through the end of the season, which would be, I think this time is on a Sunday. I think like all teams, like last season, all teams play on the Sunday, and I think that's the same thing for this year too. That all NBA teams will be playing on the final game of the season. But then, like with the Bucks, they got their final two games of the season on the road, and plus, April they, got like five home games left from there in April, and I'm gonna try to go to that final game of the season when they go against Orlando, because everybody gonna go for that Dame Lillard bobblehead, which I am too. So we will see. Yeah, they normally will give out some bobbleheads though, but they only did like they did one last. I think they did. Did they do one or two? I think they did one in 2022, and that was celebrating Giannis with the title on the MVP in 2022, 2021, 2022 season. 2022, 2023, they did the Giannis dad bobblehead jokes. I do have that one. 2023, I think. Oh yeah, that was that one. But they didn't have a bobblehead that year. But they did have, the Giannis one, but they didn't have it at the end of the season. So now they got the Damian Lillard bobblehead, which they didn't show the design yet, which I think right now they're working on it, trying, get that final print before they, release it to the public. But I will be there for that game, and that's a 7 o'clock game, right? And I know that's one of the games that's going to be on regular TV here. And I know it was announced in Green Bay that they're gonna do the same thing too. So they won't miss like none of the games. Yeah, it'll be 7 o'clock. So they got a back to back on that one because Tuesday they got Boston at home. Then Wednesday the 10th they got Orlando at home. Yeah, April's gonna be a crazy month. Not only because it's like my birthday and my anniversary, but yeah, like Bucks playoffs, and you have like other teams in playoffs. Bucks season will start. I think the Brewers, was it their first home game of the season? I think is on a Tuesday. So a little bit different. And although, gotta try to watch both games on like whatever. So hopefully, they'll show the game. If not, I'll probably will end up watching the replay on TV. But oh, they faced Memphis on ESPN. Maybe they'll get a win off of that too. And they got them on TNT this Thursday before the All Star break. Hmm. And after these two games, they got tomorrow and Tuesday. They got Charlotte. Um, 2 weeks from Tuesday, I'll be going to that game. And I do thank you guys for the support that you show for when I was showing the Bucks game. Yeah, I was showing the hey, who did they play Saturday? It was It was Friday. Think I showed the Charlotte game. Yeah, it was a Charlotte game that I showed. So I am gonna do show more, but I will show the Denver game on Monday, but the game after that would probably I would show would be Memphis. So check out my TikTok, Artrell J. So just look for that and just check that out. Um, ooh, and bit myself. Yeah, I bit my lip. Well, yeah, like I said, depend on who they end up getting for that final spot on the roster. And I don't know if they're gonna get any more two-way players because right now they still have Ty Washington, but they still got those spots for the free agents for like somebody they can sign on two-way. Let's see if they got that available. Like with that, they already got a guard, that's Ty Washington. They also get another two-way whatever if they wanted to. They probably would go after, I would say, they can go with a they can go with like a shooting guard, small forward if they want to. Like that's a wing, and that final spot they can get a power forward or a center or stretch forward, something like that for the roster for the two-way player spot. They could do that. It's just right now they just got lots of opportunities to get the right person. So what I'm probably do probably after like Raw and stuff, and it won't be live or anything like that, but it'll just be I'll put a video. It could be either before the game starts, just to talk about like the players that's available or anything like that. But that probably will be exclusively on YouTube. So gotta get a chance. I might do a little bit on the podcast too. I might do that just to as like some people interest on that too. So just watch out for that. Okay, now let's look at some wrestling news. Or really that much, like I said, that big announcement that Tony Khan made this past Wednesday, it was nothing but just talking about they're gonna have like a big show on Wednesday in March. Uh God, good thing for these calendars. Though it just doesn't say much. Sorry. I apologize about that, guys. I think it'll be March 13th that their big business pay-per-view and they'll be in Boston. Which, they're kind of spoiled because somebody else is from Boston and most likely they probably did sign her, and that is Mercedes Volato, also known as Sasha Banks. So we kind of figured that out. And plus the stuff that they had like in the background and stuff. And some people had pointed out too that they had like the two S's there. So they must be going with something else, or she might go with a different name, or she might keep the name that she got when she was in New Japan. Well, yeah, it all depends. So we got that out the way. So let's talk about other stuff. It was a decent SmackDown. Triple H cut a promo and just saying, like I'm like, if you're looking at a boss, you're looking at him. Well, I guess they're showing like a little bit of the power struggle with because The Rock is the board of directors. Well, part of the board of directors, and Triple H is the COO. So they had that going on. Yeah, both Nick Aldis and Adam Pierce, they were there. So I guess they was mentioning like they're gonna have like a tournament, like whoever like the winner of the elimination chamber, but then they got like qualify matches. So who did Drew beat? I forgot who he beat. It was some It was somebody on SmackDown that he beat. I can't even remember who it is. But it probably will come back to me. But yeah, he ended up winning and advancing. Then you have Randy Orton and Sami Zayn. Yeah, and Sami Zayn. Yeah, they both had a match, and Randy Orton qualified for that. I think they had the women's one. They don't think they only had like one match of that. That was Bianca Belair. She qualified against Mia Ying. I don't know why they constantly call her Michin. That's probably like a nickname or stuff, but they just doing this again. Like I'm glad that they are using her more as of lately, but it's like it's not enough. It's like you got all this talent with all these girls, but some of them you can push a little bit, and some of them you like stop for a while, then decide push them. So yeah, although that's part of the business, that's the sucky part of the business as well. Yeah, not cool. DIY went against Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. I'm glad I can say that name again. Um, they went against each other in the qualifiers. So the winner of that tag match was going to go against the tag team champions, the Judgment Day, at Elimination Chamber. And it was a good match. It was a very good match. But Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate did win the match, and they all like pop fists and stuff and talk afterwards in the back. So it was a good match. Well, maybe a new challenger will do something for you know Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. But will they win though? So that'd be the question. Or they're trying to save Finn and Damian Priest to either win or lose on Judgment. Either yeah they win on Elimination Chamber and probably lose at WrestleMania. For the rumor has it that possibly could be Miz and R-Truth. So the thing they do in the R-Truth is just kind of insane. So yeah, he really needs a push. But I know some people saying that he should like at least win like a world title once before he retires. I do agree. But let's see. I'm not familiar with this guy, but he was Billy Jack Hayes. But we will get to that story because it was just announced all day that during the standoff his wife was dead, and could be possibility that his sorry that he killed his wife and did like a shooting spree or something like that. So that's the news. But I'm just going to read the whole thing right here. So just wait for it to pop up. Oh, in the connection with his wife's homicide. Let's see. Tragic circumstance in Portland, Oregon, as a former star wrestling territory era has been arrested in connection with his wife's homicide. William Billy Jack Hayes surrendered to police following a 2-hour standoff, according to Portland CBS. When the authority finally gained entry in his residence, his wife, who was 85 at the time, was reportedly already dead following an apparent shooting. There are no word on what Hayes will be charged with following his book, and Hayes is currently receiving medical attention for an unrelated malady and is expected to be booked into jail following his recovery. 80s and 90s wrestling for WCCW, the NWA, and then the WWF and WCW, where he wrestled as an executioner named Black Blood. Throughout his career, he held numerous titles, including the WWA United States title. Oh, the United States Tag Team Championship, which he had with Walu McDaniel. And he tried opening up a gym in Portland, but failed. About who this guy is, so say much or anything. So this is what it's saying, but like I said, I probably was like a little bit of my high horse, just thinking like the guy probably did this and stuff like that, misses like wrestling days and stuff like that. I guess it's just like why you don't you can be like these some of these other former wrestlers big and unknown head or something, or just you never know. W having the women's tag team titles, like they already got like 2 titles for women. And I don't know if y'all see my video earlier today that WWE is gonna may end up doing a mid card title for the women, and it will be presented in a ladder match. So that'd be interesting to have like women go for this title and like showcase them off, and it'll give more women something to do since they they getting like a little bit more matches and be to the interesting. Let's see. Um, let's see. Okay. In this one African, I think it's like National African American Wrestling chat. Because there's some player, there's some promotions that work with each other. Like you had the thing with WWE and WCW, like did like a stand in '99, just showcasing. I think it was '99 or '98. I know it was when Vince you know, was on the mic because I know the last time he was on there um was bad. Was it bad? They call it bad blood or they call it no mercy. But anyways, they were showing ECW, and I think like I don't know if it was after that or like later on. I think they Vince McMahon like invest in not in ECW, sorry, and kind of showing like they're showcasing talent and stuff like that. So I think probably what was going on with like ECW, why it kind of failed because I know the rumors were that they owed it money and although they had the crowds, but they just didn't have the people to watch them on TV. Although they was on, I think it was on either Fox Sports Network or TNN or something like that, or like some channels that you didn't get with locally here. So I think if it was like shown more, they would have, they probably would have drawn more crowds. And when they did with this new ECW, when Vince finally brought it out, in the beginning it was good for his run until, Vince was worried about injuries and stuff like that. And like with the hardcore wrestling, he didn't want no part of that. And just made it like his version of ECW, which is strange and stupid and dumb idea at the same time. You should have kept it the way it was. But that's just me. But with that relationship, and of course, with Christian was in the WWE and at the time, and you have Ric Flair was in WCW um when they had that trade off because like when the Hall of Fame, like WWE was gonna Ric Flair, he was in contract with TNA. Then like months later, they let Christian go there to TNA to talk about the Hall of Fame. I forgot who was in the Hall of Fame that year, but it could have been Sting, but yeah, he was just talking about somebody that was like going in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, they used him for that. Um, the couple of relationships they had Mickey James on the Royal Rumble, and they had Jordan Grace this year, which were spoilers or anything like that during the day of. So just one of the things you just want to be surprised at times. Some news is good to talk about, but there's some of them that if you find out about it, it won't be a surprise. So you just like I just rather it be a surprise than me knowing about it. But yeah, and this guy was saying that it did nothing for TNA and stuff. It's like also with the same relationship that AEW and TNA had at the time, is like it really didn't do nothing for them. It didn't do nothing for either of them. Like they didn't get like increased ratings. It's like AEW is still stuck in the same ratings as it has for like the past year now. Like in the beginning for them, they would probably had like 1.2 million viewers or all that stuff, but it's like they just went down. I don't know. It was like after Cody left or whatever the case may be. Yeah, they went down. It's like I know I'll probably be one of the reasons that there's not that is going down because like I watch it whenever I can. It's just like with me, like with NXT, like I can watch that whenever I can. But then again, you have Peacock, rewatch the episode, which I need to do. Um, but yeah, it's like a lot of people that like WWE was working with some in Japan. They had Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm sorry, was in Japan or this Japan organization for one night only. And the guy said that they made it kind of like a trade to put the Great Muta into the Hall of Fame, but they forgot to realize that Great Muta did once wrestle in WCW. So I don't know if the guy forgot about that, but just one of those things that some people may be wrong about certain things. I don't know if it was Europe or it was Japan. I'm not sure. He went up there to did like I think they had like a little tournament for like a certain title. They had that going on, and there's other people that saying like they really like the AEW and the TNA relationship. They said it didn't help anybody at all, which I agree. And like with TNA with these relationship with CMLL or no, or it was Triple A. It was Triple A. Sorry, it was TNA and AAA now working with each other from time to time, and also with AEW working with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Um, that's going on, and they're working with CMLL too, and just Mexican wrestling in Mexico. So they got all, like some of these relationships going on, and y'all thinking like, oh, they're not helping anybody, but you never know that it may help somebody's exposure. Maybe it'll increase like their ratings, like maybe a little bit, or it'll increase like something that okay, somebody's starting watching and stuff. A lot. TNA has its biggest pay per view views in a long time with Hard to Kill, and I don't think they just fail to think that they put certain people on this platform just to like show them like whatever. But like I said, TNA and WWE had like a business relationship for years. So I'm probably thinking they're gonna probably want somebody to go there and return, maybe do like a match or something. So yeah, it's like this stuff. It's just like just got to bring out facts. That's what I'm mainly about, just bringing out facts. Just some people just don't see it at times. So just put it that way. But I was glad when the Mickey James Day return. I think it was it when I was there or was it last? I think it was the beginning of last year. Because yeah, she was women's champion. Then they did with Jordan Grace this year. I'm about to say I think I ain't seen it the year before because I was at the one in was it 2022? I was at that one. But I probably got to relook. But yeah, anyways, about this that Warner Brothers Discovery, ESPN, and Fox are going to combine with doing a sports streaming service starting in the fall. So I guess that make me think like what they're going to do with these apps that they got, like the ESPN app and well, Warner Brothers Discovery, they really don't have that much of an app. They have like HBO Max. Well, might as well call it Max because that's what it is now. Just for like doing that would be interesting to see. Um, for some, to talk about. Let's see. Removed from the WWE opening video, replaced by LA Knight. He also been replaced off of the game and off of the cover of the 40 years of WrestleMania. I probably mentioned that earlier. But yeah, they replaced him with John Cena, which I thought he was already on the cover. So I think I kind of get why he wasn't on the cover and why they now put him on the cover, like John Cena. Just crazy. Yeah, there was some other news too that was earlier this week. With Maurice, she has like well, I'm gonna read it, so I'm gonna explain it more when I read it. So this probably be the last thing we talk about. Then we probably just gonna end the show from here. So I know it's probably after 11, and plus I gotta get this on a pre-recorded version of it on YouTube and get the podcast up at least right away. So you'll probably already listen like a little bit after 11. So that will require surgery. So she confirmed she had undergone biopsy on tissue removal of her from her uterus and ovaries, which have all been returned as borderline tumors. So she would go in surgery in 4 weeks, well, as well as having her abdominal lymph nodes prepared for stage. And all 11 implants came back seriously borderline tumors. Ooh. Which she explained, very rare precancer on the ovaries, very sneaky and aggressive. If those became cancer, the survival rate is less than a year. So, do what they need to do. So, yeah, it's just like I said, it's very rare and something that you like never heard of. So, hopefully I'm off and stuff like that, and or probably just see how it goes and stuff like that. And this would be a good opportunity for them to bring Miss and Mrs. back, just if they want to talk about that, and also, you know, if they want to mention that in the season. So I do not know when Ms. and Mrs. is going to come back on air, but hopefully soon. And don't forget, within 2 weeks from today, you got WWE Rivals and WWE Legends. I think the Legends one will start with Randy Orton, and the Rivals Oh, I forgot when the rivals start with somebody. I don't forgot that quick, but check out the past videos of Aftermath, and I know I knew that I was talking about it on there, so just get a chance, just check it out. That's it for me. So thank you guys for that's watching live on YouTube and or watching this pre-recorded episode of YouTube. And you guys that's on the podcast, thank you for listening. Just look for WFSO on Apple, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcast from. So and plus follow us on there too. So if you like hearing this stuff like almost every week, podcast content, you'll hear it like almost every day. Or we try to do it almost every day. But anyway, please check out the past content as well. You guys on YouTube, please like the videos. Check our past videos if you like Milwaukee Bucks content and also pro wrestling content. This will be the channel for you. And please subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So I know it's early to say right now, but hopefully we will get there. Praying on it. So can't do it this without you guys. Fan art, like cartoons or something from the comic book, you can get hold of them on Facebook. Moving dudes, you can if you're in Florida or in Windows State 7 4 and he'll probably give you a good deal. So once again, thanks you guys for watching. Until the next video will probably be tomorrow for your podcast. It will be tomorrow as well. We're just gonna talk about uh Denver and Milwaukee game. And also next Sunday, uh it will be no aftermath. It will be on a Monday, next Monday, because of the All-Star game. So, but if it gets done in time, or they won't go to overtime, because I don't know how the new rules of the All-Star game going to be this year, since they changed it back to what it used to be, East versus West, not like player picks, the captains pick like players and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm hoping, so I don't know what's going to be going on with that, but if it ends by 10 o'clock and I've had time to, do the podcast, I will. But for now, no aftermath next Sunday, unless, something, if there's like a last minute, like I said, if there's like a little bit of time for me, set everything up, we will do that. If not, it will be next Monday instead of next Sunday. So we'll see. Anyways, let me get out of here. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for listening on the podcast. Until next time, you guys have a good one.
Yeah, it's not that fair. Hey, AJ, tell me if you was a little kid, there is really no change.
Oh, the rosy cheeks.
I'm talking about just all together. There is really no change. She looks exactly the same. Come here.
Hold on. I thought it was off the air, but I guess I wasn't.
We'll put it to the test.
So yeah, y'all get to hear all that and talk about Hazel's rosy cheeks.
And we're not talking about my ass either.
No, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about her butt. Just talking about her cheeks on her face. It seems like it won't take its time, so just wait a second. There we go.